Hello and welcome to Ryan the Show. Featuring today, our guests will be me, Ryan, on our show. So, we're going to be doing some comedy, words will be sped, blood will be spilt. Speaking of comedy, anyways, I was watching this comedian the other day on TV, and he was telling the crowd how he lost 20 pounds, and I thought that was pretty impressive, but nobody clapped. And I was like, WTF, man, you know, like, why the face? And I'm really sick of seeing all these people on TV, you know, they're like, oh, I just got married, or oh, I just had a kid, and everyone's all like cheering for that kind of stuff. And I'm like, you know, this guy just lost 20 pounds. That's a hard thing to do, especially because he's like 40 years old right now. He's all like menopausal and shit. And pretty much anyone can have a baby, right? I mean, all you gotta do is not wear a condom, like, no brainer. Almost every guy has sperm, almost every woman has eggs and stuff, and, you know, that's how that thing works. But, I tip my hat off to that man, because that's impressive. And, speaking of those shows, like, what's up with, you know, the fact that there's a comedian, you know, it's just him, right? He's talking to an audience, and that's all he's doing for, like, a half an hour, and then at the end of the show, you got like 5,000 fucking credits going up the screen. And it's like, who are all these people involved with this show? There's like a director, an executive, a producer, a fashion designer, a clothing decorator, a casting director. It's like, it's a guy standing on stage doing comedy. How many people really need to be involved? You know what I mean? But anyways, there's basically a lot of really awesome things that taste sexy in a woman's mouth, and also taste pretty amazing on their own. Like chocolate, for instance, you know? You eat chocolate, and it's great, and you taste it on a woman's lips, or a man's lips, you know, I'm not judging. Or strawberries, pretty much any food, really, you can taste on your partner's lips while eating. Still very sexy, all can be very associated with foreplay and such. But there is one food that is up there on the scale of awesomeness when it comes to food that does not taste sexy in a woman's mouth, and that food, my friends, is fried chicken. Big turnoff, not cool. Rather just have it alone, preferably, possibly, maybe with ranch dressing. But let's just leave it at that, you know, let's just keep it PG when it comes to the fried chicken, and not have that glandulating with the salival fluid exchange once commencing upon the sexual relations of a woman and or man. Couples on TV that are couples in really life are really fucking boring to me. Like, seriously, who gives a shit? You know what I mean? Take your fucking Christmas decorations down, you lazy sons of bitches, alright? Don't leave that shit up all year. It's really annoying. Seriously, man. People are really getting crafty lately when it comes to jaywalking. It used to just be that, you know, every once in a while someone would jaywalk and be like, oh, hey, you know, whatever. But now it's like, you know, I don't know if it's the recession or if it's people are just sue hungry or what, but they get really fucking ninja about that shit now, you know? Like, they wait till it's really dark, they put on all these black clothes, they, like, hide in bush, and they just, boom, come right at you, you know? And, like, it would be a great idea, except for some people, we'll just keep right on fucking driving, you know? Like, I've thought about it. Like, I see people just, like, coming at me, just making a beeline for my car. And I'm like, if you're really that stupid, I'm gonna kind of second guess about whether I'm gonna stop or not. You know what I mean? Because there's some people that, oh, you get hit, but some people are just, like, fucking purple on the inside. Money is a very cool thing. I like having lots of it. And it's crazy when you're in public and you see someone counting money and you're just like thinking in the front and back and middle of your head, you know, this person's either a complete dumbass or they're just being a dick and like flaunting their money. It doesn't even matter if it's a wad of ones or whatever. It's just like you get the lust eyes, you get the hunger, you get the primal instinct, like I want that money. You know what I mean? Like it just, you go crazy. It's like you're a vampire and some woman just like cut herself and blood is dripping on the floor and just like even for maybe half a second you're just like I could just take it right now, you know? But it's really hard because sometimes you really do just gotta count your Benjamins and, you know, you gotta sneak into a dark alley and make sure that maybe no one's watching because that shit is awesome. I really don't want to be a doctor. It must be really hard to be a doctor, not because of all the medical training and that kind of shit, but specifically when it comes with pregnancies. Like, I mean, illnesses, you can say, hey, you have cancer. They'll be like, boo. You'll be like, hey, you have cancer. They'll be like, yay. But pregnancy is a little on the, you know, it's on the black and white, the gray, iffy side. Like, you can't just barge into a room and be like, congratulations, bitch, you're pregnant. Because, you know, the husband might be there, like, ripping hair out of his head, being like, the last thing I want is another fucking kid. Like, but you can't do the other thing, like, I'm sorry, miss. Unfortunately, you have a baby in your belly. They're like, what do you mean, unfortunately? I want this baby. Like, you know, you just got to be really robotic about it. You just got to be like, woman, you are seem to be conceiving a child at the moment. That is the situation regarding this matter. I will leave you to process this data, and I will now exit the facility. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's tough. Not everyone wants a kid. What's up with Judaism? I mean, it's the only, like, race other than being Greek, I guess, that I can think of that's also a religion. It's like you never see someone going to church for being black. You know, like, they don't have, like, the collection of Caucasians church or anything like that. It's like you're just born into it. Like, you can't get out of it. I'm Jewish. That's also, I worship the Jew God. You know, like you can't get out of that kind of shit. Even with any other religion, it's like, what are you? And you're like, well, you know, I'm spiritual or I'm whatever. And they're like, well, what were your parents? And like, oh, they were Catholic. Oh, well, then you're Catholic. I'm like, no, that doesn't work. You know, you can't apply that to everything. You can't be like, what color eyes do you have? Oh, well, they're kind of on the grayish blue. What color eyes do your parents have? Green. Okay, well, then your eyes are green. Like, no. You know what I mean? No. Why the fuck do meter maids have lights on the top of their cars? Like, what the hell would they possibly seriously need those for? Like, who are they gonna be in a high-speed pursuit against? You know, like, are they gonna try to chase somebody because they sped off before receiving a parking ticket? Like, are they gonna, like, try to clear traffic so they can get to a car because they see a guy, like, approaching with his keys in his hand? You'd be like, man, if I don't get to this car in time, I'm not gonna meet my quota. And it's like, fuck you, man. Get off your goddamn high horse. You're a meter maid, you know? Like, fuck parking tickets in general. Fuck all the parking rules. Fuck red curbs. Who needs that shit? When have you ever seen a cop, ambulance, or fire truck ever park on one of those things? You know what I mean? Like, if a cop wants to park, it'll park wherever the fuck it wants to park. It'll park on top of your grandmother's head to give your grandmother a parking ticket, if it wants to. You know what I'm saying? So just get rid of all the red curbs. Fuck that shit. Let everybody park wherever the fuck they want. End of story. 6 billion people in this world. They average there's like 2 cars for every person. That's like 12 billion cars. I'm done talking about it. I miss banks, man. I miss the way banks used to be. You know, you just had like an infinite amount of money. It was so cool. Like, you had a debit card, but you treated it like a credit card. You know, you just rang shit up, and you're thinking in the back of their head, oh, I kind of only have 10 bucks left in my account. But you're like, fuck it. I just charged this $50 transaction and it went through, so it must be cool. And then you get stuck with all these overdraft fees and shit, but you're like, fuck that. I'll just move on to another bank, you know? Like, you just, you know, charge it up, overdraft, move on to the next bank, repeat, You know, you keep doing that, like, who cares about debt anyways, you know, credit doesn't count for shit. But no, man, now banks are like, hey, you don't got the money, you can't spend it. And I'm like, since when, dude? Like, this is America, you know, like, get real. Like, I want to be able to spend more than what I have. Who cares about overdraft fees? I'll suck that shit up later. I don't mind amassing mounds of debt that my great-grandchildren will have to pay for. That's the American way, dude. Keep it at it. Dude. Man, showering and having sex is not one of my favorite things, to be honest with you. Because it's difficult. Like, you can technically do it. You can get both things done. But it's kind of like watching a football game while you're trying to clean your house. Like, technically you can do both of them, but you're not going to have 100% successful experience with either one. So in my personal opinion, just have sex anywhere else. Unless you really think that your partner's filthy and the only way you're going to fuck them is if they're bathing. So, but that's your issue. Like I said, I don't judge. Man. People suck at singing the birthday song. Seriously. How long have we been singing this shit? Every fucking day. Every year it's somebody's birthday. 6 billion people. We can't get that tune right? I'll sing it for you right now. Da 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 da. Really fucking simple, people. Get it down, alright? I don't want one more birthday with 50 people going blah, 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 like a fucking cacophony of madness that makes me want to rip my ears off. Not worth it, man. Take your fucking Christmas decorations down. Wait, I think I said that already. But I mean it this time. Double time. Alright? For real. Shit. I don't want to have to talk about this again. I love how people avoid the word evil. You know, like, they pretend it doesn't exist. Like, a little 5-year-old boy going, Daddy, what is evil? They're like, where did you hear that? Who told you that there's evil? I'm like, dude, have you experienced any of the world ever? Like, you want to talk about all this good and crap, but you don't want to admit to the fact that there could be, like, evil? Like, you know, I don't know what your perspective is on murder or rape or, you know, raping murdered goats, but I would put that somewhere in the vicinity of the category of evil. That's just me. But I think that's all the time we have for this particular episode. So tune in next time, 'cause who knows what the fuck I'm gonna say. Laters.